Welcome to Platypus, Scotsman. Hope you are having a fantastic day and hope all is treating you well. This tutorial is pretty straightforward. It's meant just to teach a couple techniques. That's it. Nothing overly complex, and then we'll assemble from those techniques that are taught. Anyway, let's go. What I've done is I've made a crude jig that holds plastic. This is just sheet styrene. I probably should have made it smaller based off of a trial run, but it is what it is. And it's just meant to hold the plastic in place. I don't have a vacuum former. I don't want to make one right now. And this is very crude, but it's getting the job done, at least what I want it to do. This is just a bunch of basswood, not balsa, but basswood. And I just reinforced some of this, and nothing really extraordinaire. And this is just a Wagner heat gun. I've talked about it before. I don't remember the model. And this is just a round piece of hard plastic that I have because I can't find my other stuff. And if you saw my art room, you would understand why. And these are just my leather work gloves. I just worked it around, just made it smooth, just pushed the weight down. And this is a button you can buy at a hobby store or a craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. It's just a button for woodworking. Like I said, it's a lot of wasted plastic, but it is what it is. So now I just have a dimple, and I'm just going to cut the sides off, just going to trim it off. Then just take an emery board, start to file away. Okay, I wanted some kind of support on the back, so I just cut this out, kind of eyeballed it a little bit. And now I'm going to use the weld-on to get my initial join. I'm not going to paint the weld-on everywhere because I know this is kind of loose. I just want to get one side attached, and once that's kind of set up, then I'll go and do the rest. And that'll give me a good enough support for the back to where I can glue some things to it. And like I was done in the previous video, just put your lid back on it. Okay, this is 1.5 millimeter square tubing. Now I'm just going to go back and reinforce it with some extra weld-on. This is some tubing that I've trimmed down to kind of fit in between there, and I'm just going to dip it a little bit in the solvent or the weld-on and just wedge it in there. With this weld-on and other things that I do, parental supervision, I also operate in a well-ventilated area, but what I'm going to do now is I want to make some rivets. So I'm just going to catch the middle of this on fire. Then blow it out and just slowly stretch it. And just kind of do it slow so it kind of remains a little thicker for what I want to do. And then you'll feel the tension, it'll stop stretching. Grab with a pair of tweezers, barely dip it in, and then just put it like so. Hold it for a minute. I did that rivet trick on this. I was going to make this into a diorama don't know, 15 plus years ago. You can tell how old the plastic is. It's starting to turn. But the idea was there's going to be a bunch of Tyranids chasing it. So I built this gun, and I wanted rivets on it, and did that trick. I don't know where I learned it from. But it's really cool because you make little teeny rivets. But yeah, did that a long time ago. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I have all the Tyranids already done. In fact, this one right here is getting its guts blown out. The rest of it goes pinned there. There's a guy standing right here shooting with a shotgun. But yeah, and then this one is mounted to another one, so it's essentially suspended by Tyranids. But anyway, that's when I did it. That's when I first started doing it. It was a long time ago. So now all you do is take a pair of snips and just, oops, this one's not dry yet. Now all I do is just take a pair of snips and just get probably the distance you want. Make sure you're using the flat side of your cutters, and just cut it off. This has a angle on it to where it fits right inside there, and I'm just going to dip this in, put it right there. Oh, need to line it up, make sure it's straight. Yeah, straight enough. All right, this is bead wire. It's 24 gauge, and what I've done is I've just glued it inside this tube right here, and now I'm just going to wrap it around ever so gently so I don't bust this off. And when I'm wrapping around, I just want to support it too. Now all I'm going to do is just glue it to this stand, because I'm going to probably use it for something else later, but ooh. All right, this is wog flesh. Just going to paint it all wog. Yep, I'm going to paint it all wog. It's going to be wog flesh. It's just going to be wog flesh. And painting some wog flesh. Wog. Where in the crap did that name come from? Wog. Anyway, it's wog flesh. All right, now that the wog flesh is dry, I'm going to throw some known oil on it. I'm going to now dry brush with wog flesh again. Oh, not again. I'm going to dry brush with wog flesh. And dry brushing is just putting paint on your brush and then wasting that paint by rubbing it off on your towel or cloth or whatever. So it's a wasteful process, but yeah, it's a useful process in certain situations. This is War Boss green that I'm now dry brushing with. I'm going to avoid the bottom of the dome. I'm just going to mostly hit the top just to drive the impression that there's light hitting it more so than your gaming table. I'm going to chip it up a little bit. This is brown iron oxide, and just going to remove some paint off of it. This is a sponge that I tore apart from a bigger sponge. Now I'm going to use lead belcher to just kind of hit some of the inside of the brown just to make it look like it's been chipped. This is Agrax Earthshade, and I'm just going to go through and darken some spots up like it's been a little bit more weathered. I just painted up the microphone and the wire black. I was going to do it a bright color, but I thought if everything else is kind of an olive green, why in the crap would that stand out? So I painted it black, and it's done. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was pretty straightforward. I kind of learned some things myself. Kind of the first time I've ever done that sort of thing. And I probably should have shrunk the little holders down a little bit more so I didn't have as much plastic waste. I want to find a better button that's not so concave to where it looks like it's a audio device instead of like a radar. So I'm going to search around and see if I can find some different things. But the concept is the same. And then the rivets. Just doing the rivets with the plastic, just melting, and be safe with fire. Anyway, but if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. And I'm going to pander to you right now as far as the channel is concerned. Yeah, share this, get it out there, leave a comment, help the algorithms and things like that. Very much appreciated. If you want to see more of the pictures of the stuff that is done on this channel, you can go over to our Instagram and check it out there. It's Platypus Scotsman. Pardon me. This technique I'm doing because I kind of did a sort of thing on one of the substations, a little radar dish on there, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. I did use a heat gun. I don't have a vacuum former. I don't plan on having a vacuum former for a while. I'm just doing this because I want to be able to do some dishes for the Cyberpunk stuff that I'm doing because it's fun that way. And it makes it look more interesting, so just kind of experimenting. And the rivet thing I've done for quite a while. Actually forgot I had done it that way until I actually found that land speeder that had all those rivets, and I was showing somebody else that land speeder because they want me to finish that particular diorama, which I may. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it rolls. I want to thank everyone who supports this channel, both via comments, subscribers, Patreon. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the comments, the feedback, the encouragement. I appreciate all that stuff, and I hope you get something out of this channel. I really do. It's just, I used to be one that would keep secrets for, I've developed these things, and I keep them close to my vest for a long time. Actually, that's how I've made some friends. Back when I was a train thrall, and I did some things, and my friend Scooter, that's how we became friends, because he tracked me down to a local hobby store and came up to me and said, "Hey, you leave some things out." I said, "Yeah, that's not what the tutorial was about." But so I'm being more open and trying to share techniques and things that I've learned over the years. One final thought: if you haven't had a colonoscopy and you're over 50 years old, go get a colonoscopy. I'm not the boss of you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pretend one, but just do it. It's such a preventable cancer, a preventable situation. And if you have history in your family, go out and get one at 40 years old and just do it. It's very preventable. Owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family. You never know. You never know what might happen. But at least do it. That way you know the situation. And it's preventable. It's one of the more preventable forms of cancer if you go get checked up and screened. Hope you have a fantastic day, evening, or whatever part of the world you happen to be in at the moment. Hope all is treating you well. Hope you enjoy your hobby. Remember what my mother used to always say, that anyone can do art. I truly believe that. And you have a wonderful night. Ciao. Oh, it's clean behind me. I did clean my hobby room. Who guessed that one? I will eventually, once it's a little bit more clean, I will do a video on it because there's a few people who want to see it. Anyway, I am slowly organizing it, as you can see behind me. Anyway, bye.